All right, good afternoon. This is Peter Leinweber, aka Coach Big Pete, publisher 6 of Deep Dish Football and DeepDishFootball.com. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask as we get into more of the conference previews. This is the Western Big Six. Just a quick reminder, predictions, previews, reviews, especially predictions, mean absolutely nothing. You have to play the game first. What is up from last year could be down this year. What is down from last year could be up this year. We live in high parity times, especially with high school football. There's a lot of parity going on. Any team that has a great group of senior leadership and has an ability to adapt the line of communication with their coaches, have a good line, ends up having a really good season. And we'll see what happens. But that's just a quick reminder about predictions, reviews. They really mean absolutely nothing. Now, for Western Big Six, Geneso has joined. So has Sterling, as they left their old conference, which is absolutely completely obliterated now. But they have joined the Western Big Six. So let's get started and start talking about a few of the things about the Western Big Six. Now, my top dogs for the Western Big Six, I have Sterling, who I really like. Isaac Lenman, huge player for them. Trayvon Johnson, defensive end tight end, another player to look out for as well. Good quarterback as well, is coming back for Sterling. So Sterling is definitely a top dog coming into that conference. Now, going up to the little bit of sorry about that. Moline. I like Moline. Coach Morrissey's back from Stevenson, comes back to Moline after a couple of months. He loses a big guy in blue who goes to Beck High School in Iowa. I won't talk about that story, but they lose blue, and they got Barry, who's a top running back. They have another running back that's coming up. They had 3 great running backs just when they had blue. Blue's gone, but they got 2 great running backs. But Morrissey is back with Moline. Moline's looking great again this year. My third one that I have is Quincy. Adante Kreider, huge playmaker for Quincy. Good linebacker. They also have a great linebacker as well on that defense too for Quincy. But I really do like Quincy. I think Quincy, Sterling, and Moline are my 3 top dog teams for the Western Big Six. But Sterling is unbelievable. They are a talented roster. This is a perfect conference for them to join. Perfect conference for them. And you got to think too, and I was thinking about this too, with Sterling joining, Geneso joining, you got to look at Western Big Six as a big power play conference now for Alleman High School football, and I really do consider them that. So, for the challengers for the Western Big Six Conference, I have Rock Island. They graduate their 2 big dog linemen. But they got a good interior line, solid group of skill players, wide receiver and defensive back, good linebacker as well for Rock Island. Now, my other team that I have is Alleman. Alleman looks great. They got a bunch of key players returning. I think they went 5-4 last season, 5-5 last season. The playoffs, including the playoff loss. But Alleman looks good. Geneseo, to me, and what they run with that offense, I really like them. I think they can challenge. I think they're going to surprise a couple teams that aren't used to that type of offense. Tough nose offense, again, highly disciplined. Stay in your zone, stay in your gap. That's the key thing, and I think that team could shock some teams as we get on to week 4, week 5. Now, for my surprise team, and I know this is going to be a surprise for some people, but I have the Galesburg Streaks as my surprise team. Very good run game, very solid at the linebacker spot. I like They got a great box safety too, Galesburg. I really think Galesburg is going to shock some people this season. I think they can get the 5-4. I think they can get into the playoffs. Keep an eye out for Galesburg. That is my surprise team. Now, going to talk about some more of the players in the Western Big Six. Dante Kreider, definitely Cooper Willem, Sterling, who I talked about. He is a hell of a player. Definitely keep an eye out for him. Isaiah Yarborough from Sterling, defensive back, if I'm not mistaken. He's another great player for Sterling. Sterling is stacked with talented players. Devon Wilson, Rock Island, top running back. Keep an eye out for him. He makes people miss. Nate Sheet from Alleman, definitely another player that you want to keep an eye out for. As well, Travion Jordan, Sterling, I talked about that. Adam Worley, linebacker from Moline, you definitely need to check him out. Did a great interview with the kid. He's definitely a big-time defender for Moline. Kane Johnson from Galesburg. David Venerman from Galesburg. Definitely kids that you want to keep an eye out for. Donovan Rogers, Rock Island. Nate Wilson, Quincy, I think I saw them. Ben Dunas from Moline, small lineman, but gets the job done. Sort of a little of a shit kicker. He's that type of kid that gives other bigger linemen trouble because they can't get low enough, and he's just got a great work ethic. Jonathan Chandler from United Township, Tyler Bernanke from United Township, David Bone, long snapper. He'll be a long snapper in college, but very tall, very athletic. Definitely a kid you want to keep an eye out for. Drake Tunair from Quincy, Nate Wilson. I just talked about that. But yeah, very talented group coming from Sterling. Again, Sterling looks good this year. I like where they have the spots. I like where their spots are for their seniors. I really do think Sterling, you got to consider them a state contender. You definitely have to. And I think this is going to be a great year for Sterling. That's just my personal feeling. But definitely a surprise team, Galesburg. Definitely a team that you want to keep an eye out for. Keep an eye out for Moline. They're going to be unbelievable. Keep an eye out for Rock Island. I totally forgot about their running back. He is a hell of a player. But yeah, it should be interesting in the Western Big Six. Now, if you like my work, feel free to leave a tip via PayPal. I'll put the link on the bottom. Follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And quick reminder, Wednesday and Thursday, starting week 1 for IHSA football. Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. on Facebook Live is Deep Dish Football Live. Wednesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Then Saturday at 9 a.m. is Breakfast with Coach Big Pete, going through the scores, the awards, and everything else. Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Thank you so much, and have a great day.